Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, we always share with you all the nice things, not always those hidden spaces, but we're going to have a little look in my shed today. It's Sunday the 18th of February 2024, and we've just had another storm pass through, and it's given us about 25 mil of more rain, which we don't really need, but it's filling my tanks up. We do need to get those poles all sorted. Won't take long, but I do need to get onto that at some stage. This gutter in here will eventually be fastened over here when we've got all this exposed, but I was thinking about growing some alpine strawberries in them or something like that. But this area, we're just waiting to find a new home. The most difficult bit is finding somewhere dry for the cardboard. I'm thinking about moving last year's leaf mould, or should we say 2022, the autumn of 2022, 18 bags that we collected, moving as much of that as I can into here and sifting some, so I can just fill that up and then utilise that area there, which will hold quite a bit of junk. Well, we call it junk, don't we? But it's always useful. We hate getting rid of stuff. And in a previous blog, you saw me putting these 4 barrels down here on this side, these 3 here, because we wanted to catch as much rainwater as we could. And now we're only 50 mil off from everything being completely full, just because we diverted the water off that roof there. So we're nearly at full capacity, even though we've added another 7 200 litre containers. Why do worms want to go swimming? I just can't understand them. Yes, off you go. And there'll be no sifting of compost today. Those 2 beds are done. This one's partially done, so we've topped them up with my homemade. And this was fairly dry. And the water that we've had is completely soaked that, so it's a pity I didn't get a bit more done. But it's the afternoon now, with the rain this all overnight, and this morning I did my DIY jobs, got those done, so the wife's, Mrs K's, let me come out to play. That bucket was empty yesterday morning. I do have a lot of water barrels on my allotments, but without water the plants can't grow. You have to make that decision early on, get them going, and then not water at all and let them find the water themselves. Or once you start watering, you have to keep watering, because I'm here most of the time, I keep watering. But some of the places where the water is, I grow, and those are the loft water tanks, and I managed to top all those off as well. I'll do a successional sowing of different varieties of carrots on those. But everything does look nice and tidy. We show you all this, but we never really show you some of the other bits. Now, I've got 3 water tanks behind there somewhere. I just keep stuffing stuff in. So I need to whip all that out today and see if I can salvage some of these for myself and put the rest out for my fellow allotmenteers on this site. There's 2 of the barrels, and there's one just behind here. Loads of bottles. I ought to have cut them up, ready for my little mini greenhouses. And there's a shelf there that's full. Does it need to be full with those bits? Maybe not. And then maybe if I move this around. Okay, that was half full yesterday. Should have emptied it before it got that full. my job list. I think I've done it once. Never went to plan. But I've got little bits here that we find and use. These got wet, so I must get rid of those. There's my clock, Andermatt. But I think I need to have a bit of a rejig here. And if I do decide to remove those barrels and the galvanised tank underneath, I might be able to move everything back so I can collect more junk. But behind all that wire mesh and below that pallet there that you can see in the middle of the screen, underneath that is another galvanised tank like this one. Even though it doesn't get much light, this tank has gone green, so I do need to scoop all that off because it keeps reproducing, or I'll cover it over completely and then it'll die. And then there's the shed. I can lock this, but I don't. If the two-legged thieves want to come, they can just open it up and take what they wish. I collected some straw. There's a tractor trailer had lost one of the bales, so I grabbed some. That'll be for the base of the worm bin, and perhaps around some of my strawberries. It's got to be the dry, but I've got plastic bottles, then all the recyclables, everything else. Ideally they need to be all put away because we don't want our four-legged friends that wee and poo everywhere over everything on the containers that we're going to be putting our fruit in. So we need a bit of a tidy up in here and see if we can make room. So I'm going to spend an hour tidying up, and I've got me trailer and the car for a tip run, a little bit of space, so we'll see if we can get rid of a bit more. Well, we can see now. Oh, this is where I collected my wood for the log burner, rocket stove, sorry. I'm going to keep those square cloth bags. I like things square. So let's move this and then we can see what's behind here we haven't seen for a long time. Well, it looks like we're losing water out of this tank, and in the middle of the screen there it looks like a rat went swimming. And if you want to watch my first video, I'll put it on the end screen, but realistically all the water I had was this galvanised tank, that IBC, and this one, and then there's another galvanised tank at the end. We added two other IBCs. I paid, I think, £300 for all the bits that you see on my first video. So I think this has got to come out. It's a really long tank though. It does go almost to the back of the shed there. But what I used to do, used to pump water from here into there. We've got 3 of them, and then when this was getting low, just used to turn the tap on. Ugh. So there's 3 more barrels there I can make better use of, maybe. Clear all this out, give me a bit more room. Another future project. So we haven't found much rubbish. I'll get rid of these down by the allotment recycled area. I'm going to keep these 2 larger ones and these 30 litres. I've been collecting these get fly tipped by the cannabis growers unscrupulously with all the compost and those bags. There's several different sizes, quite useful to even put these cloth bags on, and then they just soak up exactly how much water they need. That's where my carrot marker went. I think I need to make a new one. No timeline at present. Well, that's got that done. Mustn't keep leaving things because I'll be using this to mark out for my sweet candle carrots in a couple of 3 weeks. So I've took that one out. I've made the decision now. I'm going to empty those two as well. And I've put this one here, and the pipe goes straight into there. So I can, once those other two are empty, I can get all three filled up. That's 600 litres. Then any more rain that we get over the rest of the winter won't be wasted, because all these 3,800 litres all around my polytunnel are all full. Who remembers the claw? Never hardly used it. I'll pop it down to the allotment share site. Somebody might make use of it. It's now 1:45. Tip appointment's at 3:30, so I haven't got much longer. I had those give me a long time ago. Olivia's little spade and rake. Another lot of pots. Get those down on the recycled area. It's been a long time since I've actually seen under there. There's all sorts of debris. It needs to dry out a little bit. I need to put some gloves on, etc., because of all the debris. But what I'm thinking about doing is taking that cross runner out and that one, so I can slide things underneath a lot easier. Well, didn't even realise I'd got those. That's a really fine one. Surprising. It's always good to have a good clear out now and again. I don't know about a spring clean, it's a winter clean. Can't do anything else on the plot while it's been so wet. Well, we're in the shed. So I collect the mushroom trays when I can. These are all the newer ones. Keep them in here. Wilco's pick and mix, will that be valuable in years to come? And these big kitchen rolls, hand rolls from work, I collect those. I grow my bean family in those. The cardboard tubes only, in my opinion, do well for the bean family, like peas, beans, broad beans, etc. So that's all I use them for, and we can sort of grow them in rows and know exactly where they are. Containers, as soon as I find a good one, because you know full well now everything's thin plastic, hardly worth saving, so I do wash them as we go now. I collect the 1 litre ice cream tubs. I collect those tubs that have the special ice cream in. Those, we haven't had any for a while. There's all my yoghurt pots. All the water bottles are in bags behind me, the fruit bottles. The timber preserve is all up there. But I don't preserve my timber, but when I see it I can't help myself by picking it up and hoping I can make use of it. I need to make use of this year. I've had that about 3 years that somebody did a swapsy with me. And you see my solar setup here. And I've got the facility to charge my tablet up if I'm up here for a long time. But I'm not up here for too long these days. Mrs. K soon puts a stop to that. Guess who wears the trousers in our house? So this is a good little job done. So if you just need a little bit of inspiration, then you should get out there and do it. That fork's had some use. That one's had even more. I can't bear to give them up. I've had this brush for 30 years. It's had 3 heads on it and 4 snails. Ho, 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 as the joke goes. So I think we've done well in a few hours. Well worth doing. It's been raining all morning. Grass is wet through, but because we've got nice fresh wood chips on the plot, it isn't bad at all. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra. Ta-ra for now.